Good morning, campers. And I'm just leaving Thunderhill Shelter. I didn't use the shelter because there was a group of college kids doing some kind of college orientation thing for freshmen, which is all well and good. But just for the record, I think I've stated this before. According to the Appalachian Trail Conservancy website, shelters are not for groups, and they cannot be reserved. Thru hikers have priority in shelters. Now, when I got there, they were like, "Oh, do you want to use a shelter?" And I was like, "No, it's nice weather. I like the tent." So I found a spot, not a great spot, lumpy, had a bit of a slope to it, but it did the job for one night. But if you're a group, that's great. You got a group of people, you want to go out and camp and enjoy the outdoors. That's great. But on the AT, you can't take over the shelter unless you're literally the only ones there. Otherwise, you have to defer to individual hikers, especially thru hikers. They get top priority. So tonight, I'm headed to Cove Mountain Shelter. That's my goal. It's 17.2, I think. That's a long way to go, especially with some of the uphills. And it's supposed to rain later, after 2 p.m. There's like a 70% chance of rain and possibly some thunderstorms. So 70% may as well be 100% out here. So I think what I'll do is, as we get closer to the afternoon, I'll see what the weather feels like. If it starts to cloud over and starts to get chilly and windy and I hear rumbling thunder, I'll put my pack cover on so that's all set to go, and I'll keep my rain jacket and my rain kilt readily available in an outside pocket so that when it does start raining, I can take my pack off, throw on my rain jacket and my rain kilt, which I've never tried. I can't wait to try the rain kilt. And hopefully that'll keep me mostly dry. So hopefully when I get to the next shelter, there won't be another group there. I know this group won't be there because they're not going 17 miles. They only went 5 miles yesterday because they're not seasoned hikers. So they'll be lucky to make it to the next shelter, which I think is only 5.5 miles. Again, today water's going to be an issue. A lot of the water sources are dry. If it does rain today, that will solve a lot of these problems. I won't enjoy hiking in the rain, but if it solves a lot of my water problems, it may be worth it to endure one rainy day if it replenishes the water sources. So that's it. I got some climbs today, several climbs of 1,000 feet, up the mountain, down the mountain, up the mountain, down the mountain. That's what's gonna make it tough to get the 17 miles in, but I'm gonna do my best. So I got up early and I'm on the trail just after 7 o'clock. I'm gonna make as much use of daylight as I can. Here we have the infamous guillotine, which you have to walk under and hope that rock does not come down and lop off your head like Marie Antoinette. So here I go. And you're supposed to say, "Let them eat cake," as you go underneath. Some nice stone steps in here. Alright, there we go. I made it, and I kept my head the whole time. It's kind of cool though. Little mouse right there. Little hoppy mouse. It's hopping like a bunny rabbit. There he goes. So I'm 1 hour into my hike coming down off of Apple Orchard Mountain. 2.2 miles covered. I'm surprised. I felt like at least 2.5 miles to me because I'm going downhill and it's not a hard downhill, so I'm making good time. And the uphill climb wasn't that bad because I camped at Thunderhill Shelter, which is on the side of Apple Orchard Mountain, so I didn't have to climb the whole mountain this morning, just the rest of the way up. Anyway, well, I'll take what I can get. 2.2 miles. That's what it is. That's what it is. something else I just remembered. I was talking to one of those college kids, one of the leaders of the group, and he said they ran into Fresh Ground. Now, I don't know if I've talked about Fresh Ground. Fresh Ground's the name of a guy, I guess it was his trail name, and he cooks food for hikers. People donate money to him, people who want to do trail magic, but they don't live near the trail or what have you. They don't have time to do it. They send him money, and he goes around in a van, and he cooks like full meals for hikers. So these college kids said they ran into him, and he cooked them full meal. They're not even through hikers. Here I am, I'm a through hiker. I passed the same spot that they passed. They said, oh yeah, he was at this spot. And they named the spot, and I said, yeah, I went by that spot. There was no, Fresh Ground wasn't there. So I was like, and I said, the first time I heard about Fresh Ground, way back in like April, I said, I'll never see this guy. That's my luck. I will just miss him every time. I will never see this guy. And here we go. Bunch of college kids just out for a few days, not even through hiking, only hiking 5 or 6 miles a day. Don't even need the food. And he's feeding them. They're offering me food. Oh, we got this extra food now because Fresh Ground fed us. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So anyway, that's kind of disheartening, but whatever. I just passed a pack of about between 15 and 20 hound dogs. A couple guys are training for hunting bear. They were funny. At first they were kind of happy to see me, and I started saying hi to them, and one of them started barking, and I got the other ones barking, and they all started howling and barking. They all had the radio collars on also. Some of them were pretty skittish. They didn't want to walk by me on the trail. I was like, come on, go ahead, I'll let you through. And they like went around and through the woods. I'm like, oh boy, you guys are going to be having trouble when you find a bear. Anyway, I guess what they do is the dogs, find a bear and they chase it until the bear can't outrun the dogs ultimately, and the bear eventually will generally climb a tree, and when it does that and they've treed the bear, that's about it for the bear, unfortunately. And the dogs keep the bear up in the tree until the hunters come, and you know what happens next. So anyway, that's the way it is down here. Cornelius Creek Shelter, 1.4 miles. That's where I'm taking my first break of the day. 1.4 miles. That should be about a 45-minute walk, depending on the trail. So somewhere around 9:30 I should be there. Something just reminded me, seeing those hunting dogs. It's a good thing to keep in mind that there's hunting allowed on certain sections of the Appalachian Trail in certain states. So you have to be aware of when the hunting season starts, if you're going to be in those areas, and make sure you have blaze orange on. My pack, of course, is blaze orange itself, but I think one of my resupply boxes, I'm going to have my wife send me my blaze orange bandana. Oh shoot, I just stepped on a flat rock that just completely tipped almost 90 degrees. It just went whoop like that, almost completely rolled over while I stepped on it. All right, as I was saying, I had my wife send me my blaze orange bandana. I can wear it on my chest strap here, make a big orange square, or I can tie it around my head like a do-rag. Just something that can be seen, just make sure I can be seen from all angles, because I frankly don't trust hunters. Some of them get a little trigger happy. They're eager to get their first bag of the season, and they don't check their target very well, or the background behind their target. And all you have to do is Google hunting accidents, and you will read some amazing stories that will make you say, you've got to be kidding me. So anyway, be aware of that. And really anywhere you're hiking, be aware of when the hunting season is in that area, and make sure you've got the blaze orange on for your own safety and protection. And if you have a dog with you, make sure they have a blaze orange vest as well. Black Rock Overlook, 200 feet that way. All right, that's not far, so let's go check it out. All right, so here is Black Rock Overlook. I'm gonna see what kind of things we're looking over from up here. Let's see. Whoa. Huh. You got the clouds in the valley there. I wonder if the people down there think, oh, it's gonna be a cloudy day. It may be a cloudy day later when the rain starts, but right now, it's very nice. So that was Black Rock Overlook. I'll generally check out an overlook if it's close to the trail, maybe up to 300 feet. Sometimes even up to 1/10 of a mile if I haven't seen a view in a long time or if I know it's a really great view. But this is Virginia, and you know, the views just aren't going to compare to Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. They're just not. Sorry, Virginia. I mean, you have some nice views, but you know, compared to other parts of the AT, they don't quite stand up. But not bad, especially down once you get to the like the Grayson Highlands, the Roan Highlands. You got some really beautiful views there. And I can't wait to see the views in the Smokies. I just stopped at the Cornelius Creek Shelter, and I'm now headed to the Bryant Ridge Shelter in about 5 miles. And guess what I found at the shelter? Or who I found, I should say. The other college group. It's from the same college as the group that was at the shelter I was at. So, and again, the group had taken over the shelter. So, I have half a mind to contact the ATC and that school, and just to educate them that the shelters are not for groups. The ATC says right on their website, groups are not, basically not allowed to use the shelter, literally, unless they're the only ones there, and even then, they really shouldn't, because you never know when hikers can come in. There were hikers that came in at 11 p.m. last night. I was woken up to headlamps flashing around. 2 people had come in at 11 o'clock at night. And there they are. They find out the shelter's full of these college kids. There's nowhere for them to camp. I don't know where they went that time of night, but they didn't stay at that shelter. They didn't try to tent near me. So, you know, it's not supposed to be that way. Shelters are reserved for through hikers and section hikers, or at least they're the priority. And if you're in a group of people, you got to make other plans. You got to have tents with you. You got a tent, you got a hammock, away from the shelter. That's just the way it is. So, the next shelter, as you saw, 5 miles. Take my next break there. Hopefully I can have a sit-down break. I couldn't have a sit-down break there because there's, you know, half a dozen college students sitting in the shelter with all over the, stuff. There's stuff all over the picnic table. I mean, I've never seen so much food. Bags of apples and oranges and 3 jars of peanut butter and bags of candy. And just, it was like a shopping spree spread out on this picnic table. I'm like, are you guys planning to starve to death or something? Is that what you got so much damn food? Anyway, obviously they didn't teach them any principles of backpacking as part of this orientation course that they're going through. But anyway, hopefully I'm going to leave them behind. That group said they're only going to the next shelter. They're only going 5 miles. So, I should, let's see. It was about 2.5 hours to get there. Got some ups and downs. I'll figure 3 hours to get to the next shelter just to be safe. So, sometime between 12:30, 1 o'clock, I'll have my sit-down break, my peanut butter and pita bread, and I'll hydrate. I'll filter some more water. I guess there's a good water source there. So, yeah, definitely not staying there. Now a bunch of college kids coming. So I just finished a climb. I thought, boy, this is going to take me longer to get to that shelter if it's going to be like this all day. Up and down these climbs. And it's Floyd Mountain, by the way. Floyd. Floyd Mountain. So I look at the terrain profile, and it's literally all downhill from here to the next shelter, like 4 miles of just downhill or flat, like literally no uphill at all. So that's good news. I should be able to make good time. I might even get there before or around noon. It's 10 after 10 right now, and I got four, maybe 4.2 miles to go. So I'm excited. And I looked beyond that, and there's only really 2 more climbs I have to get to the next shelter. There's one 1,000-foot climb, up 1,000, down 1,000, and then another up, I think it goes up about 1,000, and it plateaus for a while, and then it goes up some more to the shelter. So not fun at the end of the day doing a climb to the shelter, as you so often do, especially because I have to carry water, because that shelter doesn't have water. And that brings me to my next topic. I need to take the state of Virginia to task, because every shelter should have several things, in my opinion, to be a viable shelter. Number 1, you need a privy. I'm looking at you, Tennessee. You need a privy. What do you want? People just dig holes all over the place and create a minefield of poop everywhere? Number 2, a water source. Not just a water source, a reliable water source. Reliable all year round. Always has water. None of these, well, it might go dry in the summertime. What good is it to me then, right? Number 3, picnic table, somewhere for people to sit and cook and eat, whatnot. And then you can talk about other things like campfire ring, where it's safe to have one, where there's not a risk of forest fires. I like the big shelters, the big new ones with the lofts, nice, big, roomy, bright, high ceilings. You're not banging your head in that dark little caverns. I know that's a lot to ask. They're expensive to build, but I'm sure there's plenty of donors out there who'd like to have their name slapped on a shelter. Oh, one more thing. Every shelter needs to have a plaque on it, like a sign, like a metal plaque drilled into the front of it, very prominent, yellow with red lettering or red with yellow letter, something prominent that says shelters are for use by through hikers and section hikers. They are not to be used by groups, i.e. scout groups, summer camp groups, school groups, college groups, etc. Because otherwise someone like me gets there and there's a bunch of people in the shelter and it's pouring rain, and I don't want to be out in the rain. What do I get into a discussion? Well, it says on the ATC website that if you look at, what they can do, pull up the website, and then you get into a thing, and then there's just animosity, and I don't want to be that guy, but, I also don't want to be left out in the rain because a group of people don't know what the rules are. So having a sign there, you can just point to the sign. Excuse me, hi, you guys are a group? Look, that's right there. I'm a through hiker. I have priority. Somebody's got to go find a place to tent. Sorry, that's the way it is. Here's another random thought that just popped in my mind. You know how Virginia has the slogan, Virginia is for lovers? I think they should change that to Virginia is for spiders. Because I have walked through more spider webs since I got to Virginia than I have on the entire rest of the Appalachian Trail. Literally. One day I must have walked through 24 of them. And you don't see them because it's in the shade. Unless the light's hitting them just right, you don't know it until it's in your face or it's in your chest or on your arm. I'm talking full-blown, not just a little string of cobweb. I'm talking a full-blown spider web. With like the spider in it and like a dead insect in it sometimes. And you don't see it until the last second when it's like right here. And you go, whoa, what's that? Is there a bug flying in my face? No, it's a spider web, and it's either the spider or the dead fly that is about to hit you in the face, and then you're trying to scrape it off and get it off your clothes, and all the way down the trail you just keep feeling wisps of spider web in your face and your arms, and it's just driving me crazy. It's unbelievable. I've gotten to the point where I'm like swinging my pole in front of me sometimes like that when it's flat, just to knock away any cobwebs, or spider webs I should say, before I run into them. Anyway, Virginia is for spiders. I forgot to tell you what happened at the shelter where I took a break. I went to use the privy, and so I'm in there, and when I walk up to the privy, I always say, hello, anybody home? Knock, knock. And then I'll actually knock on the door just to be 100% sure no one's in there. No one was in there, so I went in, started doing my business. I can hear footsteps coming up to the shelter, so I start making noise with my bag of stuff and toilet paper and everything. And then I hear it coming right up to the door, and I hear someone's hand go onto the door handle. I'm like, hello, someone's in here. And then the door starts to open, and I grab it and slam it shut, and I go, someone's in here. And oh, sorry. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Oh, cobweb. So, yeah, one of these college kids who apparently never learned that you're supposed to knock before you go open the bathroom door. Yeah, maybe they should have a class at that school called Knocking 101. Today's lesson, knocking before entering a bathroom. Tomorrow, knocking before entering bedrooms. Next week, knocking before opening really any door, just because you don't know who or what might be inside. Boy, if this is the caliber of college students we have today, we're in trouble, folks. Whew. Okay, I'll give you a quick tour of the Bryant Ridge shelter here. Swing this around. It's a big old 2-story shelter. It's a unique design, actually. I haven't seen one quite like this. You've got the shelf here where you can use while you're standing. You're standing at that. You've got a little bench here you can sit on. Another standing shelf. Some pegs. Another bed, a couple benches. You've got the floor. And you've got a raised sleeping area here. And you got some hooks for backpacks. And you've got a ladder there that takes you upstairs to the loft. I won't go up there, but you get the idea. So very unique design. Not the best water source in the world, but they got picnic table, campfire ring. It says this is a popular shelter because of its size, and I believe it. So, it also doesn't seem to be very much good tenting options around here, so I'm glad I'm not staying here tonight. And there's windows. Windows with plexiglass in them. 2 there, and there's a couple on the back side. Back there. Wow. Well, there you have it. Bryant Ridge Shelter. Okay, I'm just leaving Bryant Ridge Shelter. I didn't get any more water. I have 1 liter with me. There's a couple of water sources on the way to Jennings Creek, which is 3.8 miles. So it's about 2 hours, well, maybe probably 2.5. Yeah, it's probably 2.5. Yeah, at least 2.5, maybe even 3, because there's a big 800-something foot climb. If you listen, you can hear some thunder. That's the other reason I'm moving now. 800-foot climb, and then about a 1,000-foot descent to Jennings Creek. If it's raining and I put my backpack cover on, it's my first time using it. I don't think I connected it correctly, but I think it'll work for now. If it does start raining, I'll have to grab my rain jacket and my rain kilt and throw those on. But here's my revised plan. I don't think I'm going to go to the Cove Mountain Shelter. That's 7 miles, especially if it rains. At the Jennings Creek trail crossing, oh brother, I gotta climb over a dead tree. See, I've got a tree between my legs. Oh my goodness. Can we say that on YouTube? He has a tree between his legs? Okay. Okay. So it's 7 miles to the shelter, but if it's raining, that's going to suck. If I can get to Jennings Creek, 3.8 miles, I can call Middle Creek Campground, which is like 1.2 miles away. I can call them for a free shuttle. And they have bunks and showers, and they have a grill. So I get some hot food, get some ice cream. That would be nice for the night. That'd be a little treat. And then just head out again in the morning. Just stay out of the rain tonight. So I'm hoping the rain holds off. It's 12:44. The forecast, I mean, it's sunny. I mean, look, the sun's out. I got blue sky above me, and yet I can hear rumbling in the clouds. And I heard that twice before last week, and it never rained. But I think this time, third time's going to be the charm, and we're going to get rain. I'm hoping it holds off. Gosh, I hope if it can hold off till 4, that would be awesome. 3 might not be long enough to keep me dry. So we'll see. I'm going to move as quickly as I can, but I got that uphill. Sun's coming out. See how bright it is? And it's a little sticky. Whoa. Big old spider web. Holy crap. Almost walked right through that one. So that's my plan. Cut it a little short today. It makes today a shorter day. It makes today about a 14-mile day. And it'll turn tomorrow into like a 17-point-something mile day. So basically it's flipping today and tomorrow. Today was going to be my 17-mile day. Tomorrow was going to be my 13-point-whatever mile day. So if I stop at Middle Creek Campground, this just reverses the 2 days. It gives me fewer miles today to get out of the rain and more miles tomorrow. Hear it? Yeah. That does not sound like that's just going to pass over without anything happening. I do not relish the idea of putting on a rain suit when it's 85 degrees and humid. It's going to be disgusting, sweaty. I don't even know if it's worth it. I might just as well just get wet and then dry off when I get to the campground. Anyway, that's my plan. We'll see what happens here. Wish me luck. Okay, this might be my last video. Thunder's picked up, and I just called Middle Creek Campground, and they're going to pick me up at the trailhead 1.7 miles at 2:45. So we'll see what happens. Okay, some other people were coming, so I had to stop shooting. The wind has really picked up. The trees are whipping around, and it's blowing those nuts or whatever off the trees. I'm worried about getting conked in the head with a hard nut. I can hear them falling to the ground. But the thunder's picked up. I've got a little over an hour, about an hour, and here comes the rain. I got about an hour and 8 minutes to make it to the parking area to get picked up by the shuttle. Go in the Middle Creek Campground where I can get a bunk for the night, get a shower, do my laundry, or at least dry my clothes off. And here comes the rain, so I'll see you later. All right, I tried to clean off my lens as best I could. It's kind of hard when you don't have anything dry handy to wipe it off. So sorry if it's a little blurry and like a halo. But the rain has stopped. As you can see, the blue sky is poking out again. There's still some rumbles in the distance. I made it down to the parking area where the shuttle driver is supposed to pick me up. I told him not to pick me up until 2:45, and I got down here between 2:15 and 2:20 because I didn't know how long it takes me. I knew the rain was coming. I thought that might slow me down, and it did a little bit because the trail flooded out. So I'm trudging through water. You can't see rocks and roots and stuff underneath the water, so I tried to be careful, but I wanted to hurry to get down here in time. I just didn't know how long it would take me to go 1.7 miles downhill, so I told him a little over an hour to be safe. So anyway, there's my pack. It's wet. I did put the pack cover on, but I had to pull it back to get to my raincoat and my rain kilt, which I've already taken off. So the pack got wet because it was pouring like cats and dogs. It just started like that. It was just like, you could hear it in the trees. And then it just, for 10 minutes, it was just a blur of rain. And I got behind a tree that was kind of leaning, and there was a little bit of a dry patch, so I thought if I get close, and I put the pack there, but the wind was blowing and the rain was spraying everywhere, and so everything got wet. I threw on my raincoat, as you can see, and my rain kilt. Like I said, I took that off. But my pants and shirt got wet, so I don't know if they did any good. I don't know how well. I think they did help. Prevent me from getting just absolutely dripping wet, but whatever. But the nice thing is Middle Creek Campground is just 1.25 miles down the road, and they're going to pick me up, and they have laundry, they have showers, they have a grill, they have ice cream, They have bunks. I mean, it's perfect. So I can go there. I can just give my clothes I'm wearing a quick run through the washer, just, real delicate cycle on cold, real quick cycle. I don't want to overwash them because I have the permethrin in them, and I've already washed them once in the past week. And that's it, and then throw them in the dryer and go get something to eat, take a shower, and get a good night's sleep, and then get right back on the trail here. I'll either have to get an early shuttle. I don't know what time they run the shuttles, but I'd like to get the shuttle like at 6:30 if I could. As soon as it's light out, I want to get back on the trail. I got a big day, 17 miles tomorrow. If they don't have shuttles that early, I'll just have to hike the 1.25 mile down the road myself. That'll make a long day. It'll make like a 18.25, 18.5 mile day. Ugh. So anyway, hopefully the rain will cool things off though. I guess we'll see. So I'm in the shower room at Middle Creek Campground, and there's a gigantic katydid on the shower curtain. Look at that. I'll have to release her. Okay, quick video tour of my bunkhouse here at the Middle Creek Campground. So let me swing it around. This is my bunkhouse. There's a couple others over there. Let's take a peek inside. Come in, we got a little food prep area, I guess. There's no running water, so there's no sink, no toilets, anything like that. Air conditioning though, refrigerator, a table, some of my stuff laid out. Nice ceiling fan, keep the air circulating. And we have 2 bunk beds here. There's one here, one here. Here's the thing I like about them. Cool gel memory foam. Oh yeah. All of them have memory foam. And then of course there's a queen size bed over here. No linens included. And I've got my clothes hanging up. I washed them and dried them, but they didn't feel like 100% dry. They felt like 90% dry, so I just hung them out to dry. As I said, there's no linens or pillows provided, so I'll be sleeping in my sleeping bag with my sleeping bag pillow. And then out the back here, a nice frog pond. Probably a source of lots of mosquitoes. That's why all the dragonflies are flying around. So anyway, that's it. That's a quick tour of a bunkhouse here at the Middle Creek Campground. Very nice. Very clean, very new. And you can see like all the woodwork looks new here. Looks very nice. Another ceiling fan there, obviously. But very nice and clean. And the floors are nice, Some kind of laminate flooring in. So looks like it's been updated. Most of it. This is probably the old side here before they updated stuff. In any event, there you go. $25 a night. And you gotta walk over to the bathhouse though for toilets and sinks and showers, but it's just for one night, so it's a great way to get out of the rain. Hey there, a quick video shout out right now to Matt for buying me a beer. This is what I chose to buy, Sweetwater. It's the extra pale ale. So there you go. Thank you very much. I'm at the Middle Creek Campground. I felt like a beer. And thanks to your generosity. By the way, Matt is my nephew on my wife's side. So thank you, Matt. Thank you for watching my videos. I appreciate it. I enjoy putting them together. They are time consuming though, and I wish I had more time on the trail, and I wish I had more, battery power to work on them. But I basically have to wait until I'm at a hostel or a motel and essentially take a 0 day. Today I'm here a little bit early. I got here about 3 o'clock, showered, did laundry, had some dinner, and I'm going to edit a video, then go to bed. So, but, it takes It takes like 3 hours to edit a video. So thanks for enjoying them and watching them, and I really appreciate it. And thank you again for the beer. I will enjoy this now.